The entire country has been bracing for Donald Trump's Liberation Day, and now that it's finally here, it has instantly backfired. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Not only is Donald Trump making America more and more divided and hateful, but it seems as though Donald Trump is making more and more people hate America. And I feel like the Trump administration might even be realizing this, as now Trump's press secretary, who I am still in total disbelief that she's still in her 20s, recently sat down for an interview where she praised the White House Faith Office for bringing in religious leaders who then go out to their congregations, quote, to spread the word of this administration as well as the word of God.
All across the country have ascended here at the White House for listening sessions, and so that way they can go out to their congregations and their churches across the country and spread the word of this administration, as well as the word of God, to their audiences, which is, the most powerful thing.
Sadly, for many Trump supporters, the word of God and the word of Trump, basically just the same thing. It seems that the prayers were not enough, because the Trump administration continues to crumble within. Recently, Trump blasted Republican senators over the tariffs loyalty test. President Donald Trump lashed out at 4 Republican senators on Wednesday, accusing them of disloyalty for opposing his push to impose tariffs on Canada. Once again, we can see that Donald Trump is completely uninterested in actually making America great again, and instead he's far more interested in surrounding himself with yes men. This internal GOP rift comes specifically because by targeting Canada, a key US trading partner, Trump's approach risks undermining cross-border cooperation and complicating diplomatic ties. So a couple Republicans have stood up and said, hey, these tariffs are not great. And what is Trump doing? Accusing them of disloyalty. It's absolutely pathetic and embarrassing. Although Trump accused various different Republican senators of disloyalty, it does seem as though Republican Senator Thom Tillis avoided Trump's fury, despite making a pretty concerning claim regarding Trump's tariffs.
Anyone who says there may be a little bit of pain before we get things right need to talk about farmers who are one crop away from bankruptcy. They don't have time, so we've got to be crisp on this implementation. Otherwise, we could do damage that's irreparable to farmers.
Unfortunately, all the Republicans in the United States could oppose Donald Trump, and it would always fall on deaf ears. And all the more solidifying this fact, Trump has just announced his Liberation Day. That's right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Trump's Liberation Day has been being hyped up for quite a while now. However, it is completely backfired.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike.
And it did not take long for Trump's Liberation Day speech to devolve into a Trump butt-kissing contest.
I grew up just north of Detroit, Michigan, in Macomb County, known as the home of the Reagan Democrats. My first vote for president was for Ronald Reagan. I thought that was going to be the best president I ever saw in my lifetime until Donald J. Trump came along.
Yay, I'm not very excited, truthfully. I'm scared, actually. Before unveiling his much-anticipated tariffs, Trump also said this, which has me really confused.
But likewise, an old-fashioned term that we use, groceries. I used it in the campaign. It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it. Groceries went through the roof. And I campaigned on that. I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
Is Trump just so disconnected from the middle class? Or is he just disconnected from reality? It does appear that Trump is disconnected from reality, because within his Liberation Day speech, he unveiled various different tariff announcements.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple, can't get any simpler than that. You know, you think of European Union, very friendly, they rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
This is also going to greatly impact various different companies, and Vietnam specifically. That means this is going to impact Nike, American Eagle, Wayfair, and others. Economists are also sounding the alarm about Trump's tariffs.
Justin, you say this will be the biggest tax hike since the 90s. Explain.
It is. So, I mean, for viewers, what really matters is the kitchen table issues. How far can your paycheck go? This is the single biggest tax hike since 1993. They claim they'll raise $600 billion doing this. We can immediately take that $600 billion, divide by the number of households, and what that's telling you is that American households are going to have to come up with round about another $5,000 a year in order to pay for these taxes.
So now we have a decent understanding that Trump's Liberation Day is actually just a Make America Suffer Day. But you're probably wondering how exactly Trump's Liberation Day backfired. Well, here it is. Dow futures tumble 1,000 points on fear Trump's tariffs will spark trade war. The US stock futures cratered as President Donald Trump unveiled sweeping tariffs of at least 10% and even higher for some countries, raising the risks of a global trade war that hits the already sputtering US economy.
Market reaction after hours, I've never seen anything like it. This, I think fair to say, is worse than the worst case scenario of the tariffs that many in the market expected the president to impose. You laid out a number of the percentages there.
But sadly, Trump really doesn't care about what the people of America have to say. Like I've been saying, and I'll continue to say, Trump is in this for himself and himself only.